Ben Jannon, Nash Power Sports, giving you a riding impression of the 2021 Kayo K6-R. The 250 power plant has been successful in Asia, with the brand winning a Chinese motocross championship going back as early as 2013. Hey, Ben Jannon. I am 1 minute off of trail riding the 2021 Kayo T6 carburetor motorcycle. It's a freaking gorgeous motorcycle. We've been selling these here for the last year, and it was time to actually just throw a leg over myself and find out what this thing is all about, to, quite honestly, in a lot of ways, answer the naysayers. So I'll give you a little background on myself. You know, maybe that builds a little barometer to who I am and what this bike is. So really, at best, I am a mid-level intermediate rider, trail riding, at one time motocross. The last off-road race I raced, which was quite some time ago, I won. The last couple motocross races, including like Vet World Championship and two-stroke Vet Championship, Glen Helen. I'm kind of a mid-pack guy for, 40 or 45 years old, B-level. So I'm nothing really to write home about, but I can throw a leg over a motorcycle, ride it, and have a good time. So what I can tell you right now is this Kayo is a very capable motorcycle, and it is a lot of fun. I'm roughly maybe 35 minutes of riding into some of the best, most technical single track that Tahuya has to offer. Obviously that's Tahuya is pretty well recognized across the state. There's some fantastic single track. So looking to just kind of do an honest review of what the bike is and what it isn't. I can tell you it's a freaking bang for the buck. That's for dang sure. Often what we'll have at a dealership level is we'll have a couple people that haven't been around bikes for a while, or they're getting into it, and the Kayo brand has proven to be fantastic because we'll not only sell 1, 2, but 3 units often to a family. They all can just get going. It could be, father, son, daughter, what have you, a couple buddies, a son. But it is not unsaid for us at a dealership level to sell 2 Kayos, because you really do get 2 for the price of 1 when you compare it to the other big 5 brands. They offer exceptional motorcycles: KTM, Kawasaki, Suzuki, Yamaha, Honda. And what you'll find with the Kayo is the technology it's back in the day, but there's nothing wrong with that. Anybody that's been riding bikes for decades can think of a bike that they liked 10, 20 years and said, man, I wish I never got rid of that bike because that bike was cool. And that's kind of like how I feel when I'm riding this Kayo. One, hey, it's carbureted. 2, there's compression braking, which, in modern bikes, we're not feeling that very much. But very quick, I just learned to short shift with the bike. I work to be a gear higher. And that cuts down on the compression braking. And quite honestly, it doesn't respond very well to revving the piss out of it, thinking that, hey, you're going to get the same performance out of like a modern 250F or even like a 2-stroke where you're riding high in the RPMs. Actually, just short shifting it and being in lower RPMs, it does 2 things. You're keeping your momentum up, and the compression braking isn't slowing you down. Maybe just food for thought too. One of the things I thought right away is how the compression braking might be a good thing for a beginner rider. It's a little bit easier to get whiskey throttle if you don't have kind of that compression from slowing you down a little bit. Well, hey, any case, I'm gonna get some more riding in and give more review of the motorcycle. But I can tell you, I'm 35 minutes in on this bike, and I can tell you it's worth every sinking penny. And who knows, maybe I'll even race it. Right on, right on. Hey, just playing on Tommy Trail out here at Tahuya. This little Kayo's have no problems just going for it. So some technical terrain, a little bit of hill climbs, nothing too crazy, but ultimately the Kayo has no issues with it whatsoever. Having a fun time. It's a good little bike. Hey there, Ben Jannon, Nash Power Sports. I just finished doing a ride on the Kayo T6, the carbureted one. Cosmetically, this bike is freaking gorgeous. But let's talk about impressions of the bike riding on the trail. Very, very favorable, especially considering the price. You know, how essentially one can go out and buy two for the price of one. You and a buddy could go get together and get riding again, whether you're getting into it for the first time or you know, coming back into the sport. So what can I share? You know, the pros and the cons. You know, I'll tell you, I was a little bit unsure of what appeared to be some sort of a bog while the bike was idling. You know, I don't know if that was like just the engine needed to warm up, or if that was a lean or a rich sort of bog. But what I learned is when I was out on the trail, that was a non-issue. So under load, the way that the engine revs versus when it's sitting here really seem to be two different things. I would say that, you know, I actually, you know, I thought maybe I might stall the bike with that hesitation, but no. I think over the course of riding for 3 hours, maybe I stalled the bike 3 times. And I think that was more so rider induced than machine induced. Came up on a log crossing once, you know, and maybe I stopped a little bit abruptly. Maybe one time I was the RPMs were low when I was probably a gear or two too high in a situation riding. But yeah, so I put on 1.8 hours. You know, on the engine, maybe rode about 3 hours out in the sticks. I did single track, 2-track, logging road, had a chance to do it all. I really like this bike as a trail bike. I think you know, I think you could actually sign up and compete, you know, enduro cross country type race with this motorcycle, no problem. I did ride the bike right out of the box, just as it's on the showroom floor. The suspension right now, obviously, it's stiff. It's not going through the stroke, but even after an hour, 2 hours, you could start to feel it kind of soften up. I felt the shift lever was not in the right position. That's obviously something very easy to fix. But it's kind of funny. It's a lot of the manufacturers these days, they mark where they want the controls. And as a rider of nearly 30 years, I disagree with some of their insight. But hey, you know, spend 2 to 5 minutes to adjust your shifter on your bike. That's that. So that's the only thing I would change immediately. Yeah, I know that there's some aftermarket ECUs, and then there's some people talking about what jets. I would probably begin to look into doing some of that if I wanted to ride on a motocross track. But heck, you know, maybe just go out and give it a whirl as is to see what it's like. Hey, just had a really, really good time riding the motorcycle today. Again, close to 2 hours ride time, 3 hours out in the sticks. Burned through a half a tank of gas. I'm not sure how many miles I did, but I did quite a bit. I would think I did 20, 30 miles, somewhere in between there, maybe 25. Fun day today. Awesome bike, Kayo.